strategies don't work. We invest in strategies, we invest in coaches, but why strategies sometimes don't work? So, in this live stream, I wanted to talk to you about this common phenomena, like why strategies are indeed not working. And more importantly, it's not like just like why strategies are not working. It's more importantly this um uh, catch 22 almost. Why we sometimes fail our strategies before they have a chance to work. All right. So I give me 1 second. I will just check my live stream that I am indeed live everywhere, and that I am indeed live everywhere, and that people can actually see me everywhere. So, like, I am live on LinkedIn for sure. So something is going on with IG, but it's okay. So we're gonna like we which is gonna chat here. So why again, like, why have you ever had this episode, or like this instance, when you invest in a strategy, you invested in advice, and advice is not working? So, um, on Monday, we were talking about that we as humans, we operate in systems. We have our cardiovascular system, we have our nervous system. Our nervous system is something that we can touch. It's our brain, it's our nerves, it's our spine. This is very physical. This is something that you can see on the MRI. Our mind, our thoughts, our processes, our emotions, our psyche also has a system. It's something that you cannot see. People often talk about like nervous system regulation, right? But it's a little bit more deeper than that. It is mind regulation and nervous system regulation. And sometimes your unregulated mind will affect your prefrontal cortex. Your amygdala will fire up, like in the like, again, like one system affects the other, and then and then there's a vicious cycle. What it possibly has to do anything with strategy fails before it actually has chance to work. So number one, if your mind is a system, if you're like this, let's say your mind is a system, your mind is organization. Any organization, your business, you are the CEO of your business, right? Regardless if you're a solopreneur, like if you're like, I mean, like, we're not going to get into this if you're self-employed or if you're entrepreneur. It's a totally different conversation for like totally different day, like totally different day. But if you are a CEO, you are making a decision in your business. Also, in your mind, you have yourself, yourself. And again, this is terminology from internal family system. Self is not a part. Self is a core energy that is always there. Yourself is never damaged. Yourself is never wounded. Yourself is never traumatized. Yourself is almost the self of your mind as the CEO of your internal organization. Again, if yourself, right, is able to operate correctly with your organization, then all the parts, like, you have different parts of your mind actually coordinate and work accordingly. And it has everything to do with your strategy. Because let's say you buy a strategy, and today, by the way, I'm going to give you step by step instruction, how to make it, how to give it a chance. Because like many of you invested in a lot of really great strategies, but you never give it a chance to operate. So, and let's say that here's a scenario: you are the CEO, like you are the founder, like your true self. We're talking about your mind, not your company. So let's say you're running a business and something is not safe, right? And in business, like business is constant like risk taking. Like in business is never really um is never really safe anything, right? Like in business it's rare, we always operating from the state of um calculated risk. So you purchase a strategy, but or you invest in a strategy, and then it's not working. And then it's not working because a lot of the time when you're purchasing a strategy, when you're investing in a strategy, you're not asking yourself really important question: what that strategy is doing, right? You are approaching when you are investing in a strategy, in a methodology. Oftentimes this is not your true self. This is a part of you, either your manager, your protector. Something is trying to protect your mind as a system, and it's trying to purchase strategy out of the panic. And uh, uh, then it can never execute because it's not the CEO. It doesn't have that it doesn't it doesn't have access to full executive function. Your true self, which is calm, which is has clarity, has compassion, can connect with other people, can express curiosity, can express creativity. That part of your mind has access to executive function, meaning that part of your brain can actually see that the strategy through and through. But what happens in reality? We invest into something and then we don't know the answer. Why are we investing in a strategy? As a strategy that we're going to implement long term, we're going to learn and adapt, and this is going to be our long term strategy for the next year or two, and we're going to implement and see how that strategy is going to play out. Or is it an emergency measure? Like, do we need to invest cash flow in our business? Do we need to do restructuring in our business? Do we need to do um sharp pivot in our business because something is not working? And until you know what is the purpose, until you approach the strategy, until you approach your next step from the place of compassion, curiosity, calmness, courage, clarity, connectedness, when you are able to connect with other people, until you operate from your true self, your strategy is not going to work because your executive function is being hijacked by either a protector, a manager that is trying to protect you from the harmful situation in your business. And we're not talking enough about the trauma that we are accumulating through our businesses, right? As we're running our businesses, right? And when that manager doesn't have full capacity to access your executive function, and this is why strategy is not working. And some entrepreneurs, some business mentors will say, "Hey, you never have a chance to actually master the strategy, the method." Um, let's say for example, YouTube, right? YouTube is a very challenging platform, and it takes time to master and position and package your presentation on YouTube so you are successful, right? And a lot of entrepreneurs, they jump off the cliff way too early and say, you know what, like it's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. I'd rather go on Instagram. I get 200 views. Like on my reels, on my YouTube, I have only 5 views. I don't need that, like maybe 20 views. Like, no, I don't need that. I need more validation. And again, like you start operating from your protective parts or from your wounded parts. And those parts, your parts of yourself never have access to your executive function. So I told you today that I'm going to give you a strategy, like something to do when strategy is not working, when something in your business is not working. So what I normally do with myself, what I normally do with my clients as well. This is something like this exercise that you can do by yourself. This is what I call executive console. So there are two versions of that exercise. Version number one, you sit in a quiet place and you start asking yourself, your system, because again, your mind is a system. Yourself, your true self, is a CEO of your organization and your system. So you have to treat your system of your mind gently, like you treat your body, hopefully so. So you ask permission. Is it okay to address whatever bothers you? And normally, like when it comes to our business, yes, we want to understand like why something is not working, but like it's very important to start moving with our feelings. For example, let's say my YouTube channel is not working. How do I feel about my YouTube channel is not working? How do I feel about my channel is not working? Is it okay? I go inside and I ask my system, I ask my parts, is it okay to talk to the part that is upset right now? It's not you upset, it's a part of you that is upset, that YouTube channel is not working, or whatever's the strategy, the sales strategy, the live streams, the live launch, whatever it is that okay? And you're waiting for permission. And sometimes your parts of your mind will resonate with like certain parts of your body, right? And then like when you intuitively feel the permission from your part, like to actually access it, you start listening to that part. And this is self-coaching. This is self-coaching because, and this is a part of the self-leadership. And then you start talking to that part. Like number one is actually let that feeling fully process, and it takes about 90 seconds. It takes about 90 seconds for the whole feeling to be fully processed through your body. Your part will normally tell you what's wrong. Like you can ask this part, when was the first time you experienced that? How do you think I am right now? Because like maybe that part that is spiraling or upset or like preventing you access of yourself, of your internal CEO to your executive function, maybe it thinks that you're a five, and a 5 years old cannot operate the business. And this is why your strategy is failing. And you are not able to master your strategy because the CEO, your true self, is not running your business right now. Now, let me know in the comments if it resonates. Like, by the way, as you're joining my live stream, I'm testing in a little bit different setup today. So let me know. First of all, let me know if you can hear me well. And all of my live streams, like whether you watch it on replay or you watch it me live, this is very much live interaction. So if something resonates with you, please, please, please let me know in the comments. I will be sharing it with everybody else. And if you have questions, because I'm diving deep today, and if you want to explain any part of this exercise, I'm more than willing to do so. So you talk to that part, like you talk to that part, and you listen to that part. And then you ask that part, is it okay if I offer you a solution? Because right now you have the self energy, because right now it's your true self. You are the CEO of your mind system. And you ask like, okay, like, is it okay if I offer you a solution? Because your true self, it has the wisdom, it has the clarity, it has the calmness, it has the connectedness, it has the clarity. Like, you don't need to look for clarity anywhere else. You already have clarity from your true self. You absolutely have clarity from your true self. So you ask your like you ask that part, is it okay, well, like, if I take control and I offer a solution. Then after that part, like, being released, right? Like, after you witness, like, process that feeling normally, that part is ready to take undesired role, like, is able to help you. And you ask, is it okay if I take over the strategy? Is it okay if I operate in my business, and if is it okay if I execute the strategy myself? And then you ask your entire system, is anybody inside of me, is anything inside of me resist that I will take over and execute the strategy myself? Because the energy of self is confidence, is clarity, is creativity, is calmness, right? And these are qualities required to actually master any strategy, and have the clarity to actually understand how you're going to execute that strategy. Let me know if that resonates. Now, another way you can execute that strategy, if you are not comfortable talking to yourself, and this is perfectly normal, that, like, talking to yourself, talking to your parts out loud or in your mind, it's perfectly normal. I do both ways, in my mind and out loud. Also, like, I do journaling, I do parts journaling. I ask my system if it is okay if I address certain parts of myself, and if they were willing to journal with me. And then I have thoughts, I have downloads, like, from that part, and I start journaling. And I respond to that part in the journal as well, and I journal my responses. And then I go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on the journal. And let me tell you, this is like fun fact. This morning, this is exactly what I did, because, like, right now it's a busy time for me. I'm opening the door for my one-on-one container. This is something new that I have never really publicly went forward before. This is a new iteration of my container, and, like, like, a lot of things coming up in my mind system. And I want to be in a driver's seat. I want myself actually lead, and there are a lot of parts that, like, hijack the driving seat, right? And I have to talk to them, and I have to address them. And this morning, this is exactly what I did. I did parts journaling. You're talking to the part, you're journaling the thoughts that coming from that part. You're responding, and like, you always ask with the for the permission. Now, this is exactly why I decided to, like, redesign my entire container, because I, like, here's the like this is the story, this is the timeline, right? Like, when I restarted my, well, business in a way, right? I started with the career coaching, then I had this download from God that I need to heal entrepreneurs. That was my vision. I start talking to entrepreneurs in private DMs, and I start working with entrepreneurs. And my understanding of that was like, well, like, as an entrepreneur, what do I want? I want more strategy. I want to teach people how to do launches, how to do consultative sales, how to sell from stages, how to do podcasting, how to do marketing, how to convey the messaging that actually converts well, because messaging is the crucial component of your business. And that worked really, really well. But then I realized that I actually misunderstood the assignment. I misunderstood God. And I'm not walking away from strategy, because like I do have the receipts. I work with wonderful consultants. I work with wonderful CEOs and founders, and I help them with their business through the strategy. But also I understood one part, that when there are wounded parts taking the seat, hijacking the seat of their business, everything breaks, and it's not the strategy. Because strategy is really like business strategies are fairly simple. It's consistency, and it's just getting better at them, and it's execute. But we can as business owners, we can execute because our executive function is hijacked by our wounded parts, by our busy mind. And we have a lot of internal conflicts, and this is why we jump from coach to coach, from coach to coach, from coach to coach. This is why therapy sometimes is not working for us. And and then I go on threads, and people say like, well, nothing is working. Like what else is working? And especially when there are times of change, right? When like there are a lot of heavy events going on in our country. Because listen, it's heavy for me, it's heavy for other people, and this is where your self leadership actually needs to shine. And this is where you need absolutely self leadership, because your past wounds, your past mistakes, your past traumatic experiences, they will be reactivated right now. And those parts will absolutely hijack the executive function. So, the way I work with entrepreneurs, this is like I only work with four CEOs, four founders per quarter, in a 6 months one-on-one container working with me. We start with this. We start with unblocking your self leadership through parts work, through ego states work, through hypnotherapy. So you remove the internal friction. And then we do business consulting. And then we do this more like strategic work, because until you are in the driving seat of your business, of your mind, nothing else will work. You can buy courses, you can hire the best coaches in the world. And I have seen it. I have seen it in many coaching containers, and this is a deep calling to actually restructure my entire offer, instead of like starting with a podcast. Oh, you need to do a podcast. Oh, you need to speak on stages. Oh, you need to do live streams. You need to start a YouTube channel. You need to hire virtual assistant. You need to hire a sales team. We start with your executive function. We start with your executive self. And when your executive self is unleashed, you actually know exactly what to do. And like I'm here to actually build that business with you side by side. It's not a crowded container, it's not a crowded Zoom call. It's working with me one on one. It's being supported in the best possible way. uh Now, like, how to join, you can send me a DM. Like, the name of the program is Certainty, because we all need certainty. We all, like, I need certainty, and this is what people gain: more certainty in the most uncertain time. And you can grab the link in the description for this episode. Either you're watching on YouTube, you link in, or whatever you're watching it from. And you can send me a DM. You can grab the link and put your application in. And I only work with 4 people per quarter. So, any questions? Any questions? If you're watching me live, if you're watching me on the replay, please let me know if you have any questions. I'm doing my live stream today through through StreamYard, and I don't know if comments are if comments are truly refreshing or not. So let me know if you can hear me well. Um, and let me know if you have any questions. Like otherwise, well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining my live stream, for coming in. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I will see you next week. I will see you actually on Monday. All right. Bye, y'all.